This video will help you to know and understand the language that it's assumed you'll know when you're doing GCSE genetics. So first, a little bit of revision about cells. I'm drawing a very simple diagram of an animal cell. In the middle of the animal cell you'll see the nucleus. Okay, so cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. And the nucleus contains nearly all of the genetic material. If we just enlarge that nucleus so that we can draw it slightly bigger, there's the nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus, at various points of the cell cycle, you can find lengths of DNA called chromosomes. Now I'm only drawing 4 chromosomes, 2 long chromosomes and 2 short chromosomes. That's because in every body cell, chromosomes are in pairs of chromosomes. And that's important because it means that we have more than one copy of each gene. We have 2 copies of each chromosome. Now, because you've got 2 copies of each, we say that it's 2n, which means that it's diploid. Diploid means 2 copies of the chromosomes. Human body cells have 46 chromosomes. So the 2n number, the diploid number, is 46, which means we have 23 different chromosomes and 2 copies of them. 2 times 23 gives you a diploid number of 46. And that's important because not all human cells have 2 copies. For example, if you take an ovum, you might know it as an egg. Inside the egg's nucleus, you'll only have 1 copy of each chromosome. This means it's n, not 2n, but n, which means that it's haploid, which means it only has 1 copy of each of the 23 different chromosomes. The sperm from the male is the same. It only has 1 copy of each chromosome. So the sperm is haploid as well. That's N. Now, when the sperm and the ovum join together, there we go. That process is called fertilisation, and then you end up with a fertilised egg cell, and the 23 different chromosomes from the ovum pair up with the 23 different chromosomes from the sperm to give you your 2n number, your diploid number of 46, and you have the fertilised egg cell, which is called a zygote. I like that name. The ovum and the sperm are what's called sex cells because they're involved in sexual reproduction, and the scientific name for a sex cell is a gamete. Now, if you imagine if I take this long chromosome here and this long chromosome here and magnify them. So I made it look a bit like a sausage. Here's the copy of that chromosome which will make up the pair. Now I'm going to imagine that this is a very simple chromosome that only contains 3 genes. Chromosomes contain many more genes than that. But I just want you to understand some language. exactly the same position on the copy of the chromosome, you will find copies of the genes. Now, in genetics, we give genes letters. Let's imagine that the first gene is given the letter A. And notice that I've given them 2 capital letters. The second gene we call B, and notice that one is uppercase and one is lowercase. And then the third gene I'll call D, and notice that they are both lowercase. These 2 genes are identical. They are both capital letters, so we give them the name homozygous. Notice that homo means the same, and zygos comes from that word there, zygote. Can you see that these are both small letters? They're both the same, so they are homozygous. These 2 letters are different. One's capital letter, one's lowercase. So these are heterozygous. Now, because these are 2 capital letters, they are called dominant, and I'll explain that in the next video. Because these are 2 small lowercase letters, these are called recessive. Now, these and these are identical genes, but these are the gene that control the same characteristic, but they're different versions of the same gene. So these are called alleles. And people often misunderstand that word. And an allele is different versions of the same gene. So it could be the gene that controls eye colour, and this could mean brown eyes and this could mean blue eyes. They're both the gene that control eye colour, but they're different versions of the gene. That's the language that you need to understand before we start talking about genetic crosses.